Part 2. Loot Golem. Time for our first Act 2 quest, Radamant. Now there are two entrances to the sewers, one that is north by Grays, and the other, which some people don't know about, along the river to the south of the map. I find if you take the bottom entrance, chances are you get to the level 2 sewers quicker. Act 2 Mercenaries. Remember to remove your previous equipment off your mercenary before hiring a new one, as it will disappear. So I choose to go Combat Mercenary, which allows me to have a prayer aura for life regen. Alternatively, you can go Defense, which will give a Defiance aura, or Offensive, which will be Blessed Aim aura and Normal. Radamant. Radamant can be a difficult challenge. Do not underestimate his poison and unholy bolt damage. Thankfully, with the Clay God's gloves, we have knockback, so he became pretty easy. If you do not have knockback, try to lure his skeletons away from him so he can't resurrect them. Alternatively, if you have cold damage, you can freeze and pop the bodies from resurrecting. My mercenary is also distracting the skeleton pack, so I have free range of attacking Radamant. So I go back to town, and I shop at Far for a new mercenary weapon, and find a 2-socketed polearm to throw some chips in it for some elemental damage. It's decent damage early on, except he is 1 dexterity off. So I have to go and rebuy a mercenary that's a little bit closer to my level. As a reminder, always make sure that you take the previous mercenary's equipment off before buying another one. Perfect. It is always important to have your mercenary show off his sweet moves as it intimidates the enemy. I call this one the impassable earn move. It seems that our sweet dance moves have paid off, as we have danced our way to a unique crossbow, Leadcrow. Leadcrow has some pretty great stats early on. Deadly Strike and Dexterity will increase our damage significantly. Now, if anyone asks, this right here is the best item in the game, the Herodra Cube. And now for the most claustrophobic area, Maggot Lair. Now thankfully I wasn't a summoner, so navigating was pretty easy. Remember that you can pass through your mercenary, but your mercenary can't pass through you. Be careful of scarabs in this area, as the lightning damage is particularly scary. After venturing through Lost City, it's everyone's favorite snake pit, Claw Viper Temple. Be careful of the Vipers, as their knockback is debilitating and can get you in a stun lock. Level 2 Claw Viper Temple is very dangerous, most because of the close-knit area and Fangskin. Fangskin is lightning enchanted and extra fast. Think Rakinishu, but with knockback. Thankfully, I was able to walk around them without too much trouble. The Palace. I used to travel top to bottom of the map, but now I go from right to left, and vice versa. I found it to be the least resistant of obstacles along the way. Also, be careful of archer packs, as there are highly concentrated packs of them in the Palace. This is where Slow Missile comes in handy. Make sure you have at least 1 point in it. Seriously though, be careful with these archer packs. Arcane Sanctuary, one of the most interesting maps in Diablo 2. Now there is no real set way on which way is the correct way, but there are some directions you should pick first, as it takes less time to go through them, specifically the red portal way. Our first fire immune. Although our primary skill is fire damage, we still do a bit of physical and elemental damage. And with the aid of the mercenary, we should have no problem. Now remember not to get too close to fire enchanted enemies when they die, as they do cast Corpse Explosion upon death. Now, this wasn't the correct way, but always check these chests for goodies, as they can hold some pretty good loot. Now here, my mercenary gets mesmerized by the floating fire. Go home, mercenary, you're drunk. I then find a superior composite bow with 2 sockets. I will save this for a future rune word, Zephyr, which are the runes Ort and Eth. Now we're level 24. I have just enough strength to use my equipment, as well as dexterity, and to increase your chance to hit to 95%. All other points invest into vitality. I made sure to save up skill points to place in Decoy, Evade, and Immolation Arrow once I hit 24. I will have access to more skills that were unlocked. We made it to the Summoner, and it only took us our second try. Be careful of the Summoner's spells. His Glacial Spike is deadly, especially with other mobs around. He's very weak, so it shouldn't take long to kill him. Just take your time and dodge his spells. Upon entering Tarash's correct tomb, we encounter some mob packs, one with lightning enchant. Do not underestimate lightning damage. That was a close one. And now, it's time for everyone's favorite oversized lurker, Duriel. But before we go ahead and fight him, remember to stack up on thawing potions, much like antidotes for Andariel. The biggest problem with Duriel is that he's in such a small space, and he has some incredibly annoying attacks. Just try to keep you and your mercenary between him, and always have a town portal up so you can run back through it if needed. Duriel has a Holy Freeze aura, which is a cold attack and slow. Now remember to give your mercenary some of those thawing potions as well. And don't be concerned if he keeps dying. It may take some time, or you may possibly need some better gear for him. You can also feed your mercenary potions by pressing shift and the number corresponding on the belt potion slot. He'll thank you for it. Now unfortunately, I had to go back to town numerous amounts of times to get more potions and to revive my mercenary, but it was all to get the job done. Now, as an Amazon, you can always cast Decoy to help relieve some pressure off your mercenary, but be warned, as you may need to cast it over and over again, and it will take up a lot of mana. We killed Zariel. Much to my surprise, he did not drop any town portal scrolls. A nice shortcut to go back to Mashif after talking to Jaren is to go through the palace, make a town portal in Harem level 1, and you'll be closer to Mashif. It beats running all the way back down to town. Enjoy the video? Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more videos. Playing along? Post a comment below of your findings so far. Or you can watch live at twitch.tv/AlarShape.